Hey, what's going on, guys? John Shea here, and in this video what I'm going to be doing is actually going over a review for the Interact Quiz Builder. So this tool is actually designed for running quizzes and building your email list through those quizzes, as well as being able to run contests, which you can also use to build your email list. So in this video, what I'm going to do is go over the sales page. I'm going to cover kind of what's inside the tool, what the features are. We'll talk about the pricing. We'll check out some of the live examples they have and some of the integrations, things like that they have on their site. Why you may want to integrate quizzes into your own business. And I'm also going to bring you into the dashboard and just kind of show you what you get once you have an account and you're able to go in and actually use some of the features to build out your quizzes, your contests, things like that. So let's first start with the sales page. As you can see, the biggest kind of piece here that they're trying to sell you on is the idea of building your email list, generating leads. Everybody wants to generate leads, and quizzes is a very powerful way to do that. They even have a sample here in one of the scrolling imagery, one of the scrolling images here that Tony Robbins himself is using quizzes to build his email list. Here it is here. Are you an artist, manager, an entrepreneur? I can't scroll back, but basically quizzes is a great way to build your email list. So not only can you build just regular quizzes, you can do things with like personality quizzes, similar to something like you might see on Facebook. You can embed these on your own site. You're able to really just integrate all of your major like email integration platforms. So if you're using something like MailChimp or any of these other popular tools for building your email list, in my case I use ConvertKit, I can integrate that directly with Interact and actually start using that to build my email list. You can also do giveaways. So if you had a product that you wanted to give away, you're able to customize this giveaway. It'll have a time. Everything's directly integrated with with your lead gen system for email marketing. You can customize the fields. You can pretty much customize everything from imagery to adding in a video, and it's pretty cool. So you can also build assessments to test your audience's knowledge and qualify leads. So you could kind of do like more of a challenge, like, based on, give people like a score based on specific questions that they answer. And here's some testimonials that they have on their homepage. Let's actually go to their pricing and we can break some of that down. So if you go with the light version, you're basically looking at $29 a month annually. Now, annually meaning that you are going to save some money. So if you're going with the light version, you will be paying for a year. If you go with monthly, you're looking to start at about $49 per month. So this tool definitely isn't on the cheaper side of some of the quiz builders, but it's really fully functional in terms of what it can do. As you can see here with the light plan, you can get up to 200 emails per month, and they've got some basic integrations like custom design. If you go up to some of the pro plans like growth and pro, you can do your own branding. You can integrate conversion tracking, real-time analytics, and they also give you phone support. Now again, if you go with annual, obviously you're going to save money, but you're going to pay up front for a longer period of time. So if you are seriously considering this, that's what I would recommend you do. So let's dive into the actual Interact dashboard. I'm actually logged in here, and I have one quiz that I was able to just start creating. I also did play around a little bit with the giveaways, but let's first start with a quiz. So if you do create new quiz, they give you an option of what type of quiz you want. So an assessment, meaning that you want to test knowledge in fun ways. Each quiz question will have one correct answer. And they give an example. How much do you actually know about the World Cup? So this is kind of like, sort of a knowledge assessment quiz. And then you can make a personality quiz, make your own version of the classic personality quiz. Each quiz taker will see a personality type that applies to them and can be shared. For example, what kind of marketing superhero are you? And they've also got one that's a tallied one, which is newer. Make your own version of a scored quiz. Each answer has a score value associated with it, and each quiz taker will receive a score that corresponds to a unique score range. So they give an example. What is your marketing IQ? So I'm going to go with the personality one just to give you an example. And now here you can actually choose to go with a template, or you can create this from scratch. So I'm going to do a template so you guys get an idea of some of the templates. Close this and I'll get some pop-ups here. So we can go with all different kinds. You can see that they sort them by the quiz type. So if I were to change to assessment, I'm going to get some different example ones. If I change to personality, they give me a whole bunch of different ones here. So you can kind of use this just to come up with your own ideas. I'm going to go with what career is best for you. Let's do that. And it's going to load in, and basically now I've got kind of the basic like entrance page for this. So now over on the left, you can pretty much edit everything. And for any of you who've ever used the Lead Pages tool, this actually reminds me a lot of that. So you can come in, and if you have one of the pro accounts, for example, you can come in and actually change your branding. So I can upload from the web or from my computer. I can come in and set up social sharing. So I want to set up a specific social sharing link. You can do all kinds of stuff here. You can add in your conversion tracking, things like Facebook pixels, Google Analytics. You can also come in and change all the styles, like the button color, the fonts, background color, font type, and the logo image. So you have pretty much all that stuff there. You can also connect a whole ton of different integrated systems for email. So you've got some existing accounts which are like either a CSV file download or a webhook. That's sort of sending data to a specified URL. And then you've got all these different integrations with all these major email marketing platforms. So I know I've personally used Aweber, I've used Constant Contact, ConvertKit is what I use now. I use GetResponse for probably over a year or two, so that's a really good one. And they've got all kinds here. MailChimp, if you're looking for a free solution, that's a really good one. And I know many of these others. Entreport, I know some other folks use. Infusionsoft, huge. HubSpot, I mean, you got all of them in here. So if you guys need to integrate your email marketing platform, there's a pretty good chance that you're using one of the ones listed here. So you can simply set them up with this so that when you do start gathering leads, this is how you're going to do it. And then you can actually start building out the content. So this is sort of the cover here, and as you can see, as I highlight over each section, you can see that it gives me the option to edit this. So if I want to change the quiz description, I just click on this, and I can come in and change any of this, and it's going to give me the option to edit. So maybe I just do 2 question marks to give you an example. And you can change any of the fonts, anything that you want. So you have the ability to come in and change a lot of this. And then now, as we go through, we can start looking at the results. So as I click into this, it's going to bring you to the next section. And now I've got pretty much the same idea. You're just going to go through and change all of these. You can even put in a call to action. Now you can start going through all the other sections here. So as you can see, it's giving me the option to go in and kind of edit all of these. Now again, you could just start with a brand new template, so you don't actually need to kind of fill this stuff out, but this gives you a little bit better idea of how to have something built, so you can just sort of modify this and you won't need to create everything from scratch if you choose not to. So again, these are the results. I guess for whatever reason I thought these were the questions, but these are the results. So these are like kind of the end game results that people might get based on the questions they filled out. If we come down here, here are the actual questions, and they actually have the option to add an imagery as well. So you can come in and say, here's the question title. You can also edit the result correlation. So this is going to allow me to say that, if they like solving complex problems, then maybe they're more interested in computer engineering and health sciences. So I can actually build this out pretty comprehensively based on the types of answers that they give. And ultimately, by the end of the test, with this particular type of test, it's going to correlate to one of these groups. And when people fill this quiz out, they're going to get an end result. So this is something that really excites me because I've actually been playing around with stuff like this myself. I like how intuitive this is. It's very easy and makes sense to build this out. It's not complex at all. So again, if you want to add more questions, you can just come in here and start adding whatever you want. You could put in imagery, pretty straightforward. So the quiz builder in here is very, very easy to use. So I'm actually going to go back. Well, before we do that, let's do a preview. So this would be kind of how it would look. If you hit take quiz, I could check off the different things. Who do you love to have dinner with? I'll say Tony Robbins. What do you do for fun? Go out with friends. If you could live anywhere, we'll say New York. So then you kind of, you get the idea. So really, really basic. You can embed this on a website. Let's go back and we'll actually check out the giveaway portion. So I started creating one here. Again, another thing before we even dive further into this, you can even get an analytics dashboard so you can see once you actually publish the quiz, you can start getting metrics on all the data and everything around that quiz. You can also track leads and stats, just anything else. So once I publish it, I would get all that data. So in fact, let's see if we publish this now. We'll say publish changes. I just want to see, I haven't actually done this myself because I haven't built a quiz that I wanted to use yet, but I'm just going to publish this. I know I'm not really going to be using it. And once we have that, I imagine we could start tracking everything. It mentions this will also create a new quiz version with reset statistics to accurately track the new version. So if I were to republish, it would basically reset everything, which makes sense since the quiz is different. So I don't know why that's taking a little bit of time, but I'm going to X out of that for now. I'm not going to worry about it. We can always come back to that. I'm not too worried. But yeah, for the giveaway, let's take a look at that really quick. So I'm going to hit edit, and pretty much you have the same kind of builder. And again, you can also come in and have some other options here, like here's the terms and conditions. I agree. You can add specific form fields like first, last name. You can enable a checkbox to confirm subscriptions to the email list. Ultimately, this is going to be a really easy way to do a giveaway. And the biggest thing is that you've also got a success page. But the biggest thing, again, what I was going to say was that you want to be able to, edit some of the giveaway settings. And here's where you do that. So you can set the start and end time. You can add in different entries. So, mostly you're going to be doing social shares, like share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, follow on Pinterest, things like that. And then you can connect all your social accounts. So it's a really easy way to get that going. You've also got the options to change all your colors. So pretty straightforward contest. I have used another tool called Rafflecopter, and I'd say this is pretty good in comparison because it does have some of the advanced features. Very simplified, nothing too crazy here. But yeah, that's kind of a basic rundown of that. And if we go back, let's do save and exit. There's also a live poll, which is a brand new feature that they've just added. So if you want to do some sort of poll, you can actually set this up as well. We'll do a full screen version and we'll take a look at this. So this is kind of like, is it this or is it this? And you can kind of pretty much build this out in a very similar way. So this is a really cool way if you wanted to maybe, ask a question to your audience, you could utilize this live poll. So hopefully I've covered most of this. I'll have to play around with the publishing and the embedding features a little bit more, but overall I really like this tool. I'd say, the only downside I would give is, it is a monthly fee, but again, you're going to have the capability of collecting, quite a few emails, using a lot of their systems and tools. Many of the tools that you're going to look for running contests and doing quizzes and things like that are this in-depth are probably going to either not have this many features or they're just not ultimately going to have all the same kinds of integrations, things like that. Again, if you do go with one of the higher end accounts, you get some of the additional integrations as well. They mentioned some of the bigger systems like HubSpot and Infusionsoft. You get that once you go with the the higher level growth account and beyond. So again, keep this one in mind. If you want to start building an email list using quizzes and doing contests, then I definitely do recommend taking a look at Interact.